Hello everyone, this is Sineve, and I'm coming to you with Can You Teach Me How to Smile Again? An Eyeless Jack X Reader by RoseBlue26. I just want to give you guys a little update, because I know I've been a little bit dead. I hit a deer a couple days ago, probably about a week now, and my car was not happy. The front bumper was frowning. The deer, I think it might be fine. I'm telling myself for my sanity, because I literally love tapped that thing. It was a love tap. I was like going 5 miles per hour because there was a big herd of deer, crossed the road, waited, and then I didn't see any more. I started going a little bit because I went slowly, and the last little straggler jumps out and scared the ever living heck out of me. So that was interesting. I'm okay, and I think the deer's okay, but my car is not okay. But aside from that, my car is at the car doctor. That's what I've been calling it for coping reasons, because it's funny to me and I think it's hilarious. But other than that, I'm doing pretty good. I tried recording yesterday, and I didn't have the energy to keep recording. I was just like, dude, my brain has been all over the place. But other than that, I'm doing pretty decent. But let me quit rambling. I know I haven't done that in a while. Let's get started with chapter 28. Kay's POV. I've been divided into a team of protecting a little wraith girl named Sally and Wyan. Eyeless Jack has been very close to her ever since Sunderman let us to live here for a time being. And how cute. He's being all jealous when I try to talk to her. And this will be fun to tease later on. As for now, there are bigger problems. They didn't seem to know Wyan's real power. And Wyan also wouldn't know after what she did to her before the fire. Maybe I should let Sunderman know about it. I'm going to need Helen to help me translate. I can't let her know about this just yet, so I'm going to need to talk privately with him. As Sunderman dismissed the others, I tug at Helen's sleeves to gain his attention. He looked at me, tilting his head. I need to tell Sunderman something important, privately, I whispered to Helen. He nodded before speaking up. Sir, I'm sorry to take your time, but Kay has something important to tell you privately, he said. Sunderman looked at me as I nodded my head. Very well, the others can be dismissed, Sunderman said as the others reluctantly dispersed, leaving only me, Helen, and Sunderman and his 3 proxies. I was hesitating to talk with the 3 of them around. Is it okay for them to know too? Sunder seems to detect my uneasiness and started. It's all right. They are my trusted men. You can tell me what you wanted to discuss. I just nodded, and I take a deep breath. Can you tell me, what do you know about Wyan's power? I started. Do you know what Wyan's powers are? Helen translated my words. Sunder nodded and said, the abilities to resist all magic at her own will, and I nodded slightly. That's not the only power she has, I said, looking straight to them. That's not the only power she has? Helen said awkwardly. I nodded to all of them. And what do you mean by that? Sunderman asked with a hint of shock. You'll understand if you knew who her parents were. Her father, you might know him as Kuro, I said. And you will understand if you know who her parents are. Her father goes by the name Kuro. Helen translated again, tilting his head. Yes, I had suspected that. And the mother? Sunderman asked. Light. She goes by the name Light, I said as I sighed. What? Sunderman's voice boomed in the other room. Sunderman's POV. I asked Kay who her mother was, and he replied by mentioning the name Light. No, it can't be. Kay just nodded at my reaction. This is bad. Who knows what will happen to her if he found out about this? Wait, he's saying that her mother is Light, and by Light you mean the Light that you told us about before? Masky asked worriedly. Yes, he did. Wait. Kay, you meant the infamous Light? The one that suddenly disappeared 20 years ago? Bloody Painter asked enthusiastically, and Kay just nodded. Do you mean she has both of their powers? I asked him. Yes, but her other power is still in a sleeping state. The power should awaken soon, he said in a grim tone. Yes, but now there's only one. The other power will awaken soon. Is it a bad thing? Bloody Painter helped to translate and asked Kay. Yes and no, I answered as I sighed. It's not a bad thing if she succeeded to control it fully, but it will be a bad thing if she lost control of it. It will be the end of the world if Zago succeeded to get his hands on her uncontrollable mind and power. It's already going to be a chaos if he gets her abilities to resist any magic, but if he gets the other one, The whole universe will be doomed. I continued as my voice turned darker. I'm I'm sure it's going to be fine. Wyan is one of us, and I believe in her to control the power. And now we just need to protect her at all costs tomorrow, Toby said with proudness. Hoodie nodded in agreement. And Toby is right. She has changed so much now. I'm sure she can handle it. We just have to believe in her. We just have to make sure Zongo won't get her or even hurt her, Hoodie said, confident in his tone. Masky also nodded. Yes, I believe you are right. No matter what happened, we will protect her, I said positively. Yes, she's become a lot more stronger physically and mentally, but I hope you can keep this a secret from her, including about her parents' identity, Kay pleaded. He agreed with all of you about her being stronger, but he hopes you'll keep all of this a secret, especially from her, including about her parents' identity. She didn't remember about her parents much, right? Bloody Painter asked. Yes, she only has pieces of her memories about them, but she can't remember how they look like or the name of her parents. Very well. I believe it is the best for now. This matter will end up here, I said as I nodded. All of them left the room after the discussion finished, leaving me with my own thoughts. Light, what exactly happened the moment you went missing? Is your death an accident, or was it something else? One day, both of you were gone, and now I just know that your daughter is here, with me, as my own daughter. But don't you worry, I might not be able to do much to help you and Kuro. But I will make sure Wyan's safety, no matter what. I will protect her till death, I swear on my life. That is the end of that chapter. Chapter 29, Wyan's POV. After Dad has divided us into groups, we all are dismissed, leaving Kay, Bloody Painter, Proxies, and Dad alone. I wondered what they were discussing about. The others all went to their own rooms for some preparation for tonight, and I'm so nervous. I hope no one will get hurt. And if they do, it'd be my fault. I was so immersed in my own thoughts that I didn't realize that Jack was following behind me. Wyan? Jack called out my name, which made me jump slightly. Jack, you scared me. I'm sorry, I was just thinking. I didn't realize you were here. I thought you were in your room like the others, I said, tilting my head slightly. Is there something wrong? I asked. Can I talk with you for a second? He said, pausing here and there while rubbing the back of his neck. He's been avoiding my eyes since what happened just now. Is he not feeling well? I nodded. Sure, come on in. We can talk inside, I said as I opened my door. He walked in with me following behind. I closed the door and walked towards Jack, who just stood in the middle of the room. Is everything okay? Are you not feeling well or something? I asked him, concerned. He just shakes his head and continues to look down. I frowned and I guide him as we take a seat on my bed. I sit facing him while he just faced to the wall in front of him, still looking down and fidgeting in his hand. Jack? I said, a little stern. He tensed a little and glanced at me. He took a deep breath and let it out with a sigh, and he took off his mask and held it in his hand. I'm fine. I just wanted to ask you something, and I know I'm not in a position to ask this, but I just want to know, who is Kay to you? What is he to you? He started to scratch at the back of his neck. I tilted my head as to surprise to his question. Oh, he's just a good friend of mine, more like a big brother. We knew each other since I was little when I lived in Japan. Why do you ask? I answered and peeked at his face. I saw a tinge of red on his cheeks when our eyes met, and his face had changed to a relief. Nothing. I just wanted to know, that's all, he said while looking away from me. Is he jealous of Kay and me? Is that why he's been silent since we entered the mansion? Are you perhaps jealous of Kay? I mumbled. He tensed for a bit before letting out a chuckle. I guess I am, he answered as he looked at his hands. I can feel the heat rising on my cheeks as I heard his answer. When I saw you hold him like that, I felt uneasy. I just don't like it when someone else holds you like that, he continued as he turned to face me. He took both of my hands and held within his. I'm sorry if I'm a bit selfish or act like a kid or simply just annoyed you, he said as he sighed. I replied with a shake of my head. Never in my mind or heart have I ever thought of him as annoying or unpleasant. No, you're not annoying or whatever. I only feel comfortable and safe when I'm around you. So please don't think otherwise, I said as I look at our hands and give a little comforting squeeze of his. I could still feel the heat on my cheeks burning like I'm having a fever. Jack took a deep breath and exhaled with a content sigh. Thank you, Ryan. There's also something that I'd like to tell you, but I think I'll just wait for the right moment, he said, chuckling as he let go of my hands. I tilted my head as to wondering what does he mean. Once we go through tomorrow night, I promise I'll tell you what it is, okay? He said as he ruffled my hair and walked towards the door, taking his mask with him. He paused in front of the door and turned around to look at me. I promise I'll protect you from them. I won't let them take you away. I can feel myself smiling, and I nodded as I felt assured for tomorrow. He smiled back and went out of the room, leaving me in my own thoughts. I glanced at my instant camera. Mom, Dad, please watch over us from wherever you are. Isn't that cute? Kay cooed as he peeked his head from the wall behind me. I was caught off guard and fell to the floor. Cage, don't do that. You scared the shit out of me. I said as I stood back up. And suddenly there's a knock heard from the door. Come in, I said, wondering who it was. I walked to the door and opened it, revealing Bloody Painter with his mask hanging on the side of his head. Sorry to disturb you. I heard some noises in here. There's a stupid demon in here, he said, looking annoyed. Stupid demon? You mean Cage? Yeah, he's inside. Please, come in, I said as I stepped to the side, motioning him to enter. He nodded his head and walked inside, and once he had entered, I closed the door and walked to where they were. Hey yo, he said to Bloody Painter as he sat crisscross on my bed. Bloody Painter's left eye started to twitch as he saw Cage. I wonder what happened. Don't you yo me, he said sternly. I tilted my head as to wonder what had made him annoyed. What happened? I asked them. Cage still was keeping his half-smile face, while Bloody Painter still keeping his annoyed face and glared daggers at him. The stupid demon just thought it was a good idea to prank people during this serious time, he said as he glared at Cage. That really does sound like Kay. Cage let out a chuckle. What did he do now? I asked with a sigh and rubbing my temples. How can I forget how troublesome he is sometimes, as he never really takes things seriously. He tied Tiki Toby's shoelaces together, and making him trip just after our discussion with Slenderman and his proxies. Then he just laughed and left me in the room with the others. Do you know how awkward it is and how troublesome it is? I have to apologize to them so that they won't kick us out or kill me, Bloody Painter explained as he rubbed his temples and let out a big sigh. It was funny, Helen. You were laughing too. Cage cooed as he floats around Bloody Painter, and hiding behind me when Bloody Painter was about to smack him in the face. Helen, I mumbled, looking at Cage while tilting my head. Cage nodded with his signature half-smile mask, and I heard Bloody Painter let out another sigh. That's my name, Helen Otis, Bloody Painter said as he looked directly at me. I just replied with a hum. You can call him Helen too, Cage said as he floats upside down in front of me. He looked back at Helen as if waiting for him to say anything. Can I asked as I look at him. He was tense for a bit, but then just shrugged it off. I wouldn't mind, just call me whatever you want, he said with a small smile. Then can I call you my tsundere painter? Cage said as he let out a snicker. Helen's face immediately changed into a frown as he smacked back of Cage's head. Cage was laughing despite being hurt from the smack. Alright, I guess I'll just call you Helen then. I'm surprised that Cage seems attached to you, I said as I take a seat on my bed. Helen took a seat on the chair near my desk and gave me a shrug. I think it's more like he doesn't have anyone else to be attached to, he said while snickering. I think he only knows the two of us that can really understand what he's saying. Helen continued as he looked at Cage. Hey, you two are already starting to gang up on me, Cage whined. I guess you're not wrong, he mumbled, making me and Helen let out a chuckle. Cage will always be Cage. That is the end of that chapter. The chapter after that one is chapter 30, and it starts with Cage's POV. Let me know how you guys felt about that, and I will see you guys in the next episode. And until next time, bye-bye.